If you're a sprinter who trains hard, has a coach, and still feels flat, heavy, or sore going into your key sessions, your recovery could be the problem. You might be doing plenty of recovery already. The issue is that a lot of recovery advice is built for athletes in general, not for what sprinting specifically asks from your body. By the end of this video, you'll know why your legs can feel dead, even when you think you're recovering properly, and what to look at first. Because every session you show up flat, you're not getting the adaptation you think you're getting. That's lost speed, lost selections, time you don't get back. You've probably already tried fixing this. Ice baths after every session, resting by doing nothing at all, a protein shake the second you finish training. Maybe you've even copied a recovery routine from a footballer or a bodybuilder because it looked like it worked for them. None of that advice is automatically bad. It just might not match what your training has actually taken from you. Sprinting is high-force, high-speed work. It can fatigue your nervous system, stress tendons, and create real muscle fatigue and damage, especially through the hamstrings. A footballer's recovery has to deal with 90 minutes of repeated effort. A bodybuilder's recovery is built heavily around muscle breakdown from lifting. Sprint recovery has to account for how ready you are to produce high force, move well at speed, and handle the local stress in areas like your hamstrings, calves, and hip flexors. That is why you can do everything that looks like recovery and still show up flat. You have recovered something, it just might not be the thing your last session stressed the most. Start paying attention to that after your next hard session. Put 3 notes in your phone: what the session actually was, where you felt the biggest hit afterwards, and how you feel when you wake up the next morning. Was it acceleration, max velocity, speed endurance, heavy gym work? Did your hamstrings feel rough? Were your calves tight? Did you feel fine physically but completely flat? Keep doing that for 2 weeks. You will stop guessing and start seeing what is actually behind your bad sessions. Every segment in this video comes back to that idea. Sleep, food, mobility, and niggles all affect whether you can turn up to training ready to sprint properly. Here's the lever most sprinters underrate completely: sleep. If you want to feel sharp, sleep is one of the biggest inputs into how well you recover between sessions. And a lot of athletes are running a sleep deficit without really noticing it. You might think you're fine on 6 or 7 hours, you're getting through school or work, you're not falling asleep everywhere, so it feels like enough. But speed readiness does not announce itself the same way sore legs do. You just show up to the track a fraction less sharp than you should be. Your warm-up feels harder, your reactions feel slow, you cannot quite find rhythm, and you have no idea that sleep might be part of the reason. What usually gets you is not one bad night. It is the pattern: late nights scrolling, inconsistent bedtimes, sleeping in massively at weekends, and treating sleep as whatever is left once everything else is done. Consistency matters, but so does getting enough total sleep. One good night does not fully undo 3 average ones, and a regular sleep schedule does not make 6 hours enough if your body needs more. For most young athletes training hard, the target should be enough sleep most nights, with bedtimes and wake-up times that stay fairly steady when possible. Make this easy on yourself this week. Pick a wake-up time you can keep fairly similar on school days and weekends. Set a separate alarm for when you need to start getting ready for bed. Then move your charger away from the bed, so you are not scrolling until you fall asleep. 3 small changes. They make a massive difference when you do them consistently. So if sleep is already the weak part of your routine, the free sleep blueprint is linked below. It gives you the full sprint-specific framework. Now, sleep is only half the story, because you can sleep well and still walk into training flat if you are not fueling properly. If you're not fueling properly, you're capping your own speed before you even step on the track. This is about what to actually eat before and after your sessions, not a generic athlete diet. Fueling that suits high-intensity sprint training. Most sprinters fall into one of 2 camps. Either you copy the same eating template a footballer or distance runner would use, or you go the other way. Carb cycling, training fasted, cutting carbs to lean up, because that's what is trending. Both can work against you when you are trying to produce quality speed. The first few seconds of a maximal sprint rely heavily on your phosphocreatine system. But once you start stacking reps, doing speed endurance, lifting, or training again the next day, carbohydrate availability matters a lot more. That is why you can turn up to a session feeling flat, even though the workout looks short on paper. So what should you actually be eating, and when? Before a session, you want carbohydrate you tolerate well and can digest easily. If you have a couple of hours before training, that could be oats and yogurt, cereal and milk, rice with chicken, a bagel with eggs, or toast with fruit. If training is closer, keep it lighter. A banana, cereal bar, toast with jam, yogurt, rice cakes, or fruit juice can be enough. After training, carbohydrate and protein both matter. Carbs help replace what you used. Protein supports muscle repair and adaptation. You do not need to panic about a perfect 30-minute window. But if you have a hard session again later that day or early the next morning, getting food in soon matters far more than waiting around for hours. And one big post-session meal cannot fix a full week of undereating. So make training days easier before they happen. Pack your pre-training snack the night before instead of hoping you will find something on the way to track. Pick one meal that sits well in your stomach and repeat it, rather than trying random foods before speed sessions. Decide what you are eating after track before you leave the house, so you do not end up starving at 10 o'clock eating whatever is left in the cupboard. That alone will clean up a lot of flat sessions. Now let's talk about everything you're doing between sessions that you think is recovery. Some of it helps. Some of it just feels productive. Most sprinters put mobility and active recovery into one big category. Stretch a bit, foam roll a bit, maybe go for a light jog because it feels like you are doing something useful, but the goal is to turn up better for your next quality session. A walk, easy bike ride, pool session, or light mobility work can help you feel better between sessions. The key is keeping it genuinely easy. If your recovery day turns into a sweaty conditioning workout, you have added more training stress when your body was already trying to deal with the last session. Take your hamstrings. If they are always tight no matter how much you stretch them, stretching harder is not always the answer. That tightness could be fatigue, soreness, gym work, sprint volume, a previous issue, or something that needs looking at properly. You cannot diagnose the reason just from feeling tight. Stretching may feel good, mobility can be useful, but neither one replaces looking at the training load that created the problem in the first place. On your next recovery day, keep it boring on purpose. Choose one easy option: a walk, light cycle, easy pool session, or short mobility routine. Keep it easy enough that you could have a normal conversation the whole time. Then pay attention to the area that keeps feeling tight and write down when it usually appears. After max velocity, after heavy RDLs, the day after speed endurance. That pattern tells you much more than forcing yourself into a deeper stretch. What usually helps most is movement that does not add much stress. Walking, light cycling, an easy pool session, or just giving your body enough time and food to recover. Last piece, and this is the one that connects everything together. Losing a season rarely starts with one massive injury. It often starts with a niggle you trained through again and again until it became something you could not train through anymore. Most sprinters have two responses to a niggle. They push through it because they do not want to lose training time, or they panic and rest completely because they are scared of making it worse. Neither response works on its own, because neither one pays attention to what the problem is actually doing. A niggle that eases in a warm-up is one piece of information. It is not automatic proof that you are fine to sprint flat out. Look at the whole pattern. Does it get worse as you move? Does it change your mechanics? Is it more sore after training or the next morning? Has it been hanging around for weeks? And if you get sharp pain, a pop, bruising, swelling, a limp, or pain that makes you change how you run, that is not something to test by pushing through another rep. Back off the high-speed work. Tell your coach. Get a qualified physio or medical professional involved. The first time a niggle shows up, tell your coach that day. Make a quick note of where it is, what movement brings it on, and how it feels the following morning. If pain starts changing how you run or gets sharper through the session, take max speed workout straight away, rather than trying to prove you can get through it. Some injuries can be managed while you stay active. Others need much more caution. The right answer depends on where the pain is, what caused it, and what your sport demands from you. And this is where the rest of the video matters. Better sleep, better fueling, and sensible recovery will not make injuries impossible, but they make it easier to see what is normal training fatigue and what is a warning sign that needs attention. Today, we mainly spoke about sleep and nutrition. They are only 2 of the 6 pillars in the full sprint recovery blueprint. The full system covers sleep and hormonal recovery. Your daily recovery system, including hydration, routines, and habits that keep recovery consistent. Session-specific protocols, for track sessions, gym sessions, rest days, and competition days. The nutrition system for fueling sprint training properly. Targeted muscle recovery for the hamstrings, hip flexors, calves, glutes, and lower back. And advanced recovery methods, including cold exposure, sauna, contrast therapy, and soft tissue tools. You can have one of those areas sorted and still show up under-recovered if the rest of your week is random. The full sprint recovery blueprint puts all 6 together into one system built specifically for sprinters and hurdlers. It is linked at the bottom of the description.